Ch12. A furry little problem. Ayla POV. I don't think I like the Dalish, but to be fair I don't think they like me. Ever since I got here all I've gotten was stares and glares like I did something. It's the symbol, Nick called, pointing to his chest. The sun. This armor was given to me by the maker. In fact, I kinda like it. It may not look the same as the Chantry's, but it's close enough. Wow, he said Chantry like it tasted terrible in his mouth. You seem not to like this Chantry, Sir Nicholas. Why? Sereda asked. After leaving Mother Base we split up into groups. I'm in a group with Sereda, Dagna, Wynne, and Nick. Dogmeat was left on the ship as a guard with Pancake and Princess. Nick called us Team H. E. A. L. The Hot Elf Appreciation League. Wynne vetoed it but was unheard cause Kalen called his team M. A. B. A. R. I. The Manly, Awesome, Boss, Apple, Randy, Incorporated. I swear to the maker he just started using words he knew to spell Mabari. The Chantry is the largest organized religion on the surface, at least in Thedas, and they have done some messed up things. Did you know that in their false holy book they believe that dwarves don't have souls? Ridiculous. I held my holy symbol closer. Am I really the only one with a true copy of the maker's words? But we do have souls. Dagna pointed out. Yeah, I know, I put one in a lantern. The Chantry was made by humans for humans. It makes all other races seem like failures and only the human race is loved by the maker. He looked over to me with a smirk. But we all know that's a lie, I smirked back. The Chantry has done great good, helping those who couldn't help themselves, Wynne spoke out. True, there is without a doubt some who work in the Chantry that only want to do good. He agreed, but that's not the only thing they do. Is it? How old is he? Wynne was quiet. Who do you speak of, Sir Nicholas? Her son. We all looked at Wynne a little shocked. I didn't know you had a son, Madam Wynne. How? You should know by now. Very little. Can escape your sight. Yes, I know. The Chantry did something monstrous, abominable, despicable. They took a child from their parent without a second thought. I can't imagine it without going into a rage. I just keep thinking, what if it was my child? All alone, told that they are a mistake, a monster, something the gods wished dead. His eyes began to glow brighter. Some of the elves near us began hopping out of our way. Do you know his name? If he cried at night. If someone told him a bedtime story. Is he sick? Does he ask about you? What do they tell him? What does he think of you? Does he believe you abandoned him? Nick, he turned to me. That's enough. Wynne was crying. Do you now understand why I would kill the entire Chantry? And the Templars, those poor fools. I would think you would hate them. Especially after the tower. Why would I? From what Alistair told us about his time in the cloister, it was only a place for brave men and women who wanted to help the world from the monsters known as mages. They're raised to believe everything the Chantry says is correct, and then if that wasn't bad enough, they drug them by shoving lyrium down their throats. Remember what I said about an expanded mana core? I nodded. That's what lyrium does. It gives you great power. To a mage it replenishes your mana, and with them constantly using their core, they can withstand the pain of it returning to normal. To non-mages it gets dangerous. Templars use it to cast spells like a wannabe paladin, but it comes with serious consequences. Their mana cores don't just go back to normal. I saw those Templars in the tower. They were sick, real sick. All the lyrium in their system messed their cores to high heaven. No doubt you've seen it, old Templars in the street, looking like they just came out of the lake, shivering, sweating, stuttering, unable to get through a single sentence without yelling for no reason. Old man Yemaine, the Templar by the Chantry, he described him perfectly. It's also addicting. Taking it once a month should give you the power to fight any mage as long as you're skilled. Tell me, Wynne, how many times do the Templars in the tower take lyrium? Once a week, by the maker. The Chantry made a bunch of people, who only want to help their community, into drugged-up tools for their military might, and if anyone says anything, what happens to them? They're tossed out onto the street, I whispered. The Chantry calls them dropouts, failures, fools who didn't take their jobs seriously, and mage sympathizers. They make the symptoms they show as a sign from the Maker, that the Maker is punishing them for their failures, but I'm painting with a large brush. I have no doubt some terrible Templars only want to feel powerful by beating on the weak, abusing their charges, and taking what they want. Just as there are mages who only want to kill, rape, and rule over ashes. The question is, were they born this way, or were they made that way? We're here, elves, at least 50, all groaning and moaning. Some were midway through a transformation, bones broken and elongated. I felt this morning's breakfast rise back up my throat. "Excuse me, who are you?" asked an elf woman, standing at 5 feet 5, brown hair, tattoos on her face. Valislin, father called them, said they hurt like a bitch to get, and on your face, ouch. Hello, name's Nick Walters, healer, hunk, handsome, geez, don't forget humble. At your service. Zathrian told us that you had some dying folk and we would like to see if we could help. He got that look in his eyes like he was reading something in the air. Lanaya, it's a nice name. Lanaya took a step back. How? He just smiled. Yes, we need help. Nick clapped his hands. Great. Ayla, check with your boss, but don't cure anyone. Why? Because I don't want to fight my way out of here. We don't know how the elves will take a god not of their faith curing them. But they'd be cured. Lanaya was giving us a weird look. Nick sighed. Lanaya, be honest. What would happen if my friend here used the power of the Maker to cure the curse affecting your people? Lanaya gave him a long stare. Not sure. Some would be happy that our people are cured, but some would attack you. They would believe that you came here to spread your religion and destroy more of our already broken culture. They'd be happier seeing their friend and family turn. Dagna pointed to a man 3/4 transformed. Into that. I agree with Lady Dagna. If nothing is done, your people will turn and attack more people. And you don't have to convert or anything. I waved away the thought like it was an annoying fly. I just want to help. She seemed hesitant. Ladies, leave her alone, Nick called out, kneeling next to a man and touching his forehead. The elf seemed to get better. He stopped moaning, his shivering stopped, and his breathing looked normal, but the moment he let go of him he started up again. I need to learn how to break curses, he muttered. Good news, bad news. The good news, healing them can slow the curse. The bad news, it can't be stopped, something is powering the spell. So, unless we stop what is causing this, you have a group of over 50 werewolves in your camp. Ayla, can you do anything? Oh, right. Opening my holy symbol, words began to appear. You can only safely cure 3 elves every hour, but take heed, young Ayla, the being enforcing this curse will know who you are and they will aim for your life. Great. Looking back up, Lanaya looked to be in awe. Good news, bad news. Good news, I can break the curse. Bad news, whatever is casting the spell is going to know it was me who did and come after my life. All right. Yar heard her. Nick dusted his hands. We've done what we could. But, we have but arrived. Surely, we could do something, Sir Nicholas. Nope, there's no point. We cure them and we're made enemies of everyone. But nothing win. These people don't want our help. We wait until we have no other choice. Is there no rune we can make? Dagna asked. Maybe a healing rune to slow the transformation or a pain reduction rune to ease the pain. I don't know how the curse will react to it. It could speed up the conversion. I have the feeling that whoever made this curse wanted it to hurt and any interference might make it worse. The Keeper had a plan to stop this. We'll just have to wait. Lanaya looked upset, annoyed by his dismissal of her people, and scared of what will become of them. Can you really do nothing? Nick gained a frown. I might have something, but I made it as a last choice. He pulled out a bottle from his, what I like to call, personal realm. Lanaya backed away. This is a cure-all potion, but I'm unsure how it will affect the elves. It's not meant for the people of Thedas. Most people here have weak mana cores, and finding any of the ingredients here is nigh impossible. The magic is far too weak. He passed her the bottle. I'm asking you to be careful with this. It could make the situation much worse. Use it if there is no other choice. Lanaya just looked at the bottle. Come on, let's see if we can buy anything. He walked out of the tent like he just didn't give a young woman an impossible choice. This is the man I agreed to come with. At least he is a nice butt. / Nick POV. The shops here were crazy. 2 gold for simple iron bark armor, but to that. Nick. What's wrong, Ayla? She's been down in the dumps since we left the medical tent. Why didn't you allow me to cure those people? I know I could. I shook my head. I know you can. In fact, I had a feeling you could. But all that would do is put a target on your back, and I'm not going to let one of my friends be put in danger for a bunch of people who might attack you for helping and monsters that will. No, I understand if that sounds cold, but I don't care about these people, I do care about you. She gave me a hug. This seemed to have really bothered her. I hugged her back. And besides, we may not need to. They could solve their own problems, or maybe the potion I gave them will work. I gave Lanaya a cure-all potion from the Elder Scrolls. If it cured vampirism, it just might cure lycanthropy, at least before it takes hold. What if I heal them anyway? She muttered into my chest. If they attack, then we shall smite them. Serida announced, fist held high. Yeah, we'll explode their faces. Dagna held out a firebolt. Please put that fire out, Win nagged. I laughed. Yar heard them. We'd fight our way out. And Win gets to complain the whole time. Win rolled her eyes. She took a deep breath and released me from the hug. Thank you. Let's hypothetically kick some elf buns. We all cheered, except for Win. The elves around us gave us glares, but feck them. The elves had a small shrine to their gods which I avoided like the plague. We ended up meeting up with Team S. I. N. G. L. E. Strong, independent, noticeable, generous, loving, enlightened. Sky wanted to show off her new vocabulary. The team consisted of Sky, Jackie, Julie, Leliana, and Nat. Ended up going back to the base since there was nothing to do in the camp. It mostly had scared elves and Hala. Arriving back at base, we found a crowd blocking the stretch of land that led to the house. I gave out a loud whistle, getting their attention. Move. They split like the Red Sea, showing a woman covered in stone frozen about 10 feet into the stretch of land leading to the house. Oh my, what do we have here? I walked up to my new impromptu elven statue. Man, was she angry. Looking around, I found no other statues. I guess she wanted to see the inside of Mother Base, only to be caught in my security system. So, what to do with you? We should start with the obvious. Who are you? May the dread wolf take you, Shemlan. I placed my hand over my chest like I'd been struck. Ah, the words of this complete stranger, that I have never met, cut deep. Ayla, quickly, heal my broken heart. I fell back into Sky's arms. It is nice to know that my team knows me well enough to catch me when I overact. Oh no, Nikki, are you okay? Sky hasn't gotten the concept of acting yet. Don't worry, in Julie's book, there's a way to save you. Oh no, Julie's books are like 75% smut. I tried to stop her, but it was far too late. Sky shoved her tongue down my throat, still loving that refreshing taste, cooling the annoyance that the elves gave me since I got here. I patted her cheeks, getting her to release me. Thinking she was only going to put me on the ground, I was unprepared for the sudden release and landed on my back. What a woman. Ayla popped into my vision with a shit-eating smirk. How do you like it? Bold words for a woman within grabbing range, I smirked. Sky, quickly, Ayla's heart is broken too. Before Ayla got to do anything, Sky was on her. Sky, why? She was interrupted by Sky's tongue. She flailed a little bit, but after 10 seconds she sort of went limp. Good job, Sky. I think you saved her. Sky let her drop, but unlike me, Ayla was used to this and landed in a crouch. Getting up with as much grace as she could manage with shaky legs, she turned to me with a glare. I'll get you back for this. I laughed at her. Her threats carried the same weight as a baby kitten. Now, you. I snapped my fingers at the frozen woman. Watcher wants stranger. Release me, human. Damn, she just used human like an insult. Yeah, how about no? You're on my land without any sort of permission. Technically speaking, I can kill you and it would be perfectly legal. What nonsense. You have no right to this flying island. It is of elven origin. It was made by the elves. You stole it. Good lord, lady. Say it, don't spray it. I want the news, not the weather. I wiped the spit from my face. I'm pretty sure the keeper has already told everyone that this is my island. I made it. Months of hard work, rune crafting, material gathering, and failure after failure. And then you come in and demand it. How cute. I move around her and look at the crowd. Hey, one of you please go get Zathrian. It seems like someone needed to be reminded that stealing is wrong. A young elf took off from the crowd. When the keeper gets here, he will rend you piece by piece. Yeah, whatever. We began talking about what I was going to make for lunch. Zathrian finally arrived about 30 minutes later with the kid. Zathrian looked cool as a cucumber while the kid looked like he had just run a marathon. I flicked the kid a gold coin, and he caught it in shock, seemingly lost in its glitter. Thanks, kid. Zathrian, it seems like some of your people decide that my island would be better in their hands. Now I'm a pretty understanding guy. Theron once told me that the elves once had islands of their own, but unfortunately lost the ability to make more. So, I understand why your people want mine, but as I said, it's mine. I worked hard to get this thing off the ground and keep it together. So, you can understand why I'm unhappy to have one of your people marching onto my land demanding me to hand over something that belongs to me. Zathrian looks over to the elf trapped in the stone. Zandra, I told you to leave this place alone. This island is elven made. This Shem stole it from our people. I will take it back. She hissed. Keeper Zathrian, do I need to worry about the elves here? I would hate for that to be the case. Every elf I met up to this point has been amazing people. I started making illusions of the elves I've met. Commander Zen towered over these people. He was like a kunari is to a dwarf. Warden Theron, he was just that bit smaller than Zen, but still bigger than every other elf. Mage Neria, she wasn't as big as Zen or Theron, but she outclassed any female elf in the camp. Master Assassin Zevran, he was smaller than Theron by at least 3 inches and had more of a swimmer's body, but still outclassed many of the Dalish elves. And of course, Cleric Ayla, I'm not sure if it was her human half, but Ayla was slightly shorter than Neria, standing at 5 feet 7 compared to Neria's 5 feet 9, but where Neria was skinny, Ayla was filled out, more hips, breasts, and muscle. And yes, Zevran has tried to kill some of us, but he was a constant gentleman and professional the whole time. Clearly he's not as good as you say, Zandra hissed. Well, Zandra jumped, or at least tried to. He did have a flying island. One does not just jump on a flying island. Zevran appeared behind her like a ghost. Even Zathrian, who was looking right at Zandra, looked taken aback by Zevran's sudden appearance. As you well now know, the rest of Team B, U.T.T.S., short for bouncy, units, trembling, terrifically, Sir, Zevran got to choose. His group consisted of himself, Morrigan, who was not happy about the name, Alyssa, who didn't care, Neria, who was in a leaf bikini. What the hell is happening there? And Okran, who found it hysterical. They have given me an incredible first impression of the elven people. Now I'm beginning to worry that they are outliers. I continued my monologue. They are not true elves. They live with Shemlans. They are slaves, the weakest of elven kind. I gave her a confused look, and pointed to the illusions. But, they're bigger and stronger than all of you. If every elf outside of the Dalish is this big and strong, why are we here? Zathrian, is what she's saying true? Zevran, is she in any way correct? Can we just get the city elves to help us? Zevran circled around Zandra and then looks out to the crowd of elves. I'm not sure. I have not really been to any other Dalish clans, but many do look smaller than city elves. I might chalk that up to your cooking though. I don't know what you put in your food, but I've never felt better, faster, more. Just more, he shrugged. And that's just 1 month of your cooking. If we head to Danerum and start making food for the elves there, I have no doubt that they would be ready for the blight. Should we talk to Theron? We just might need to. Please, Zathrian called out. There's no need to burn bridges. Zandra was just desperate to recapture something of our ancestors. Yeah, but it's not of your ancestors. They didn't make it. I did. She was trying to steal something that didn't belong to her in any way. And the fact that you're not reprimanding her for her actions only tells me that you don't really care. I'm just going to back away from all this. Don't want me? Fine, I'll stay on my island. If I come down here it will be under Theron's command. I raised my hands as a sign of surrender. Nick Walters. I need the mage known as Nick Walters. The crowd of elves splits apart for the third time. Just make a path, damn, showing a frantic Lanaya run toward me. Mr. Walters. She was out of breath. I need more potions. The one you gave me cured the curse. Everyone was giving her wide-eyed looks. As she reached the island, the security system froze her as well. Wah! Oh, sorry about that. I waved my hand allowing her freedom. What was this about my potion? The potion you gave me. It cured Reemlo. I shrugged. I have no idea who that is. That's not important. What is important is that your potion can cure our people. Damn, that's great. It would have been better a minute ago though. I am no longer a friend to the Dalish people. I'm more of an acquaintance. Friend of a friend. You get my point. But my people. Your people don't like me. I pointed to Xandra, who was now looking like she regretted every decision she has ever made, and Zathrian, who seemed to have swallowed a bitter pill. I am unwelcomed, so I shall no longer interfere with the Dalish, unless instructed to by my leader. Who's that? She grabbed onto my armor, nearly yanking me off my ground. That would be me. Looking up we found Theron standing at his full height with a serious scowl on his face, which is crazy. I have never seen him angry, but to be fair that man has a poker face on all the time. What's happening here? I was reuniting with old friends, only to have a small boy come tell me that one of my comrades was being mobbed. I looked behind him and found the same boy as before. I flip him another coin. Kids going places. I gave him a quick observation. Mahanan Lavellan. Man, did that name sound familiar? According to his bio he's 13, here with his father for a quick visit, but it seems like the werewolves extended his stay. Keeper Zathrian, is this how your clan will conduct business? Theron was not happy with this turn of events. According to him it would be simple. Land the ship, amaze everyone, see if Ayla or I could do something, if not see if the keeper had any plans to cure the people, trick me into following a pretty priestess into the shrine of the gods, talk to the gods, see if they could cure the curse, if not fall back onto plan 1 or 2. Simple. He told me that straight to my face. Like I would fall for the pretty priestess, but apparently, everyone just nodded along like that was just an inevitable conclusion. Turns out his plan involved Neria dressing up in a leaf bikini, and it's working. Them some nice hips. I'm a weak man to sexy ladies, but it seems like Zathrian shot Theron in the foot. Warden Theron, I will be on the ship if you need me. He pointed at Xandra. I nodded, waving my hand. The stone covering her pushed her off my island. Unless given permission by me, no Dalish elf, other than Theron, is allowed on my ship. A shimmering sphere appeared over Mother Base pushing Zathrian and Lanaya out. Lunchtime. I walked off to the house, ignoring Lanaya's calls. Lunch was pasta with a meat-heavy sauce. By the end of it the wardens looked like a bunch of flesh-eating zombies. So, Theron, what do we do with the elves? Theron wiped his face from any leftover sauce. Zathrian is very sorry about Xandra's actions. Damn, air quotes, feck that guy. So, am I expecting an assassin? I look at Zevran. Another assassin? I doubt it. The people need your cure. I only have 40 potions. Since I heard there were werewolves, I started using my ingredients to make potions, and now I'm running low. Besides, Zathrian is the one who made the curse in the first place. No doubt he has another way to break it. I wanted to see if the potion could cure the taint in non-wardens. I had Duncan drink one, and while only giving him a slight pick-me-up, it didn't do much else. I concluded that something that they did with the joining must have made the controlled taint more permanent. Can you get more ingredients? Not unless I fly back up north. The ingredients that I use usually grow in high mana locations. This veil is really annoying. Can't you tear it down? Morrigan teased. Don't even joke about that. If the veil comes down without the centuries needed for people to adapt, Every single person without a developed mana core will die. Not be sick and get better, I mean die, as in no longer living. Probably painfully, and let's not forget about the millions of spirits that use the Veil as a home. It would probably turn them into demons, who will kill the survivors. Forcing the rest of the world to try and contain the situation, probably by destroying whatever's left. Causing the Theodosians to look at me in shock. Don't worry about it, for something like that to happen, there would need to be physical godly intervention. Ah, Serida points to herself. No, not like you. I mean a god would have to enter the material realm, and at that point, we're pretty much boned anyway. That seemed to calm everyone down. So, Zathrian is the only one who can reverse the curse? Neria asked. I shrugged. Most likely, unless the curse has gained awakening. Jack and Julie gave me a confused look. I probably deserved that. When I explained where I came from and how I got here, I didn't really go into all the details about what is happening here. Julie didn't really care, and Jackie didn't want spoilers. An awakened curse. I've never heard of such a thing. It takes centuries for something to awaken, and it takes a certain environment. Jackie pointed out. Like? Wynne asked. Well, time, for starters, magic, strong emotions, people to interact with, and a purpose. Jenny took well over a millennium to form. It was only your runes that powered her to completion. Maybe the Veil cut down the time for that to happen. Julie added more factors to the equation. And he started by using the spirit of the forest. Theron, how old is this forest? I asked. Easily thousands of years. And he has been powering the spell for centuries. He used his hatred for the people who hurt his family as the emotion, and the want to kill as a purpose. And the people? Asked Morrigan. The werewolves, answered Neria. Before the werewolves were wild, a danger to be sure, but without purpose. Now though, they attack as a group, a pack, they were able to ambush Dalish hunters. That can't be easy. Near impossible, Theron confirmed, at least not here. The people travel through here too often not to check for ambushes. So, if we play with the idea that the werewolves are led by the spirit of the forest, then infecting the elves makes sense. They were sending a message. No more curse. Wait, if all it takes for the elves to return to normal, and get the werewolves to stop attacking him is for Zathrian to stop the curse, why doesn't he? Alistair asked. Revenge, Aidan answered. If what you said is true, then the original werewolves were probably the humans who attacked his family. Those who survived anyway. Reversing the curse would probably turn the werewolves back to normal, all the werewolves. But that was hundreds of years ago. Kalen proclaimed. Those people are long dead. Can one man be that vengeful? Would he sacrifice his own people? For revenge he gained centuries ago. We were all quiet. Feck me tenderly. At least tell me he has a plan. He said that he had a team of elves looking for Witherfang, the leader of the werewolves. Duncan appeared in the conversion. But they have yet to report back. If your theory is correct, then the werewolves are not mindless beasts and those hunters are good as dead. So, has he asked you if you could find Witherfang? I asked. At this point, that's all we do. I swear we arrive somewhere to conscript people and suddenly boom. We're all dying and need your help specifically. Have you noticed that? Yes, I have. Alistair agreed. What is it about a blight that makes us wardens, everyone's errand boys? That's a good question. Duncan then went on a long story about the fourth blight and how just about every warden was made to pick herbs. It was pretty boring until all the herbs combined to make a huge monster that was used to fight the blight. Since then wardens do all kinds of strange things. You never know when something may help you in the future. We concluded the team meeting after that, not wanting to antagonize the elves anymore. Only the elves from our group went into the Dalish camp. Dagna showed me her design for the artificial vagina for Shale. It seems pretty solid. Shale used to be a living dwarf once. All we needed to do was bring those memories up to the surface and her sex drive should return. All we had to do was get that engine running, but it seems like Sten was already on that. I congratulated Dagna on her well-earned report. She just seemed happy to get it over with. I then gave her the next project for her to work on, artificial limbs. It was simple. What would they be made of? and what runes she would place on the limbs, and why. I gave her 2 weeks, no material was too crazy, no rune too difficult. That got her jumping. I wonder if she will be the same when her next project is making that limb. In the meantime, I was thinking about ways to save Witherfang. My first idea was to use the golem hammer and soul lantern I kept from our mission to the deep roads to put her spirit into a new body, but I'm not sure if that would work. Cole could become human, probably gaining a soul, but I would need the anvil to make it work. Plan B was to see if I could use the dryad seed I have to give her a new body to live in. I could then plant it on Mother Base, but that comes with its own problems. Would it work? Can she jump to a new body? Will she want to? I mean, she just wanted to return to the Fade, and that's not adding how the werewolves would react. At this point, the best thing I could do is let her die and allow a new spirit of the forest to take her place. Feck. I was sitting back on my chair when I felt a hand tap my shoulder. Looking over, I found Morrigan with a grumpy Neria and Dagna. Great, now what did I do? What up, sister from another mister? Why have you not told us about the restricted section of your library? I just gave her a long look. What part of restricted do you not understand? Do you know there's a book on how to strangle someone, and when opened it tries to strangle you? No, any book in there is off limits, and that's final. I know what book Morrigan wanted, Flemeth's diary. It had some sort of magic around it. I couldn't even copy it, so I just took it, and no one seemed to care. I locked that shit up tight. I want this book. She shoved the search book right in my face, and lo and behold, she was pointing to Flemeth's grimoire. I wanted this one. Dagna pointed to a book called Mage Sight. Oh, hell nah. Mage Sight sounds great on the surface, the ability to perceive all magic around you. The problem is that you had to perform the spell every time you wanted to use it. Sounds normal, right? Wrong. The spell had a 45% chance to make you go blind after every cast. I wanted to see if I could lower the risk, but until then no one was using that spell. I found that book out in the open in the Circle's library for any fool to read. I'm surprised there aren't more blind mages. Neria took the more womanly approach, used a move straight out of Leliana's playbook and thrust her breast in my face. Won't you let me take out this book, Master? She pointed to a book called Modification. This book was as bad as Mage Sight. One wrong move and your body would be horribly transformed with no way of returning back to normal. Taking a deep breath, I raised my hand and flicked Neria on the nipple, causing her to yelp and back away. What part of restricted do you not understand? I pointed at Dagna. Mage Sight has a stupidly high chance to make you go blind. Modification can feck up your body beyond repair, and Flemeth's crazy. That book could have some sort of crazy mind-melting spell between its pages, so no. Now if you would excuse me, I need to start dinner. Morrigan got in my way. I need that book. It might give me insight into what she has planned. Maury, Flemeth is crazy. I worry that she would put something in that book that will make you seek her out. Falling right into her evil wrinkled old fingers. So is your older brother. I say no. And that's how it went. Neria and Dagna quickly accepted my reasoning. The possibility horribly scarring your body tends to do that to people. Morrigan on the other hand didn't stop. She even tried to get Aiden on her side, only for that to backfire. Silly fool. Didn't count on the fact that he loved her and didn't want her to die a horrible death. The only thing to stop her from bothering me at night was Jackie ordering her away, 'cause she was going to make sweet, sweet love until the crack of dawn, and unless she wanted to hear her brother moaning for mercy and begging for her to continue, she could feck right off. That got her running. That was a fun night. It didn't stop Morrigan from bothering me in the morning. I finally agreed to her demands after she started acting like a cat, threatening to destroy my kitchen, but rules were made. The book could only be read in a magic-sealed room, making it wasn't as difficult as I thought. I used a similar method as the Templar's cleansing area skill. I pushed the magic away. Morrigan was, of course, upset about this. I didn't care. I also gave her a checkup every time she went into the room to read and when she left. This continued for another 2 days. It was great. Like a weekend where you're completely caught up on all your work and you don't have to worry about Monday. But Monday can't be pushed away forever. Work will always come. Theron came back from the camp with an annoyed face. He wants us to go into the forest and kill Witherfang. So, we knew that we would eventually go after it. It's not that we have to go after Witherfang, he didn't ask, he demanded. After giving him the 10 potions, he's only been more on edge. People have been begging him to save their family night and day. With the loss of the hunters, he's getting desperate. I'll get my stuff. The camp was tense. People were getting restless. With the werewolves attacking everyone to the north and the dark spawns sending scouts, people were ready to book it. People were giving me some serious looks, after the news that I created a potion that cured the curse. I'm just waiting for someone to attack me. Neria and Zevran have been bothered by the families of the cursed. I decided to leave Dagna and the dogs on Mother Base. If we were really going out to battle, I didn't want Dagna coming along. She was getting better at combat magic, but this was no place for a beginner. I left her in charge and made enough food in the fridge to last her and the dogs for a month. I also gave her full permission to move Mother Base if the elves get aggressive. We found Zathrian talking with Lanaya. I didn't catch their conversation, but clearly, they were not having a fun time. Noticing us, Zathrian broke away from Lanaya. Warden Theron, King Kaelan, Warden Commander Duncan. I see you're ready to enter the forest. We got a sighting of Witherfang north of here. Please remember, I need the heart. Not even a proper hello. Okay, whatever. New quest, the lady's gone wild. The elves have been stalked by Zathrian's curse. If you wish to have the nimbleness and expert marksmanship of the elves, you must find a way to break the curse. Rewards, 35 gold, 30,000 express, 1 gold loot box, friendly with the elves, 1 gacha token. Lanaya was waving over at me trying to get my attention, but I ignored her. I was unwelcomed here, and I wasn't going to leave Theron's side for anything. Lanaya seemed like a good person, but desperation can make good people into monsters. For all I knew, she wanted to lead me into an ambush. Does that sound likely? Kinda. Am I being paranoid? Yeah, better believe it. Do I feel bad about leaving some elves to become werewolves and then be slaughtered by their people? Yeah, I guess, but at the end of the day they don't want my help and they tried to steal from me. Mr. Walters. Lanaya grabbed my armor trying to stop me, but she was too weak to stop me, so I just dragged her along. Mr. Walters, please. Wow, you're strong. Please, Mr. Walters, my people need your help. That's nice, but your clan would happily die before they ask for my help. I don't care what they want. If we don't do something, we're all going to die. Aren't you next to be their leader? And a leader makes tough decisions. If I have to apologize for my more stubborn clansmen, then I will. Lanaya, I have no doubt that you're going to be an amazing leader, but I cannot help you. I have 30 potions left, there are 22 people in my group, and we're about to go into a werewolf-infested forest to find and fight a super werewolf to save your people. I'm about to risk my life for a bunch of people who would be happy to see me die, so they can try and take my shit. I am not sure if I can get any more generous, so. I peeled her off. Tell your people that I'm working on it. I left her on the ground and kept walking. That was kinda harsh. Nat, these elves are kinda like the dwarves. They hunger for their past glories. They're unwilling to see a future without it. Noses so high in the air that they keep tripping over their own feet. That's why I respect Theron so much. Instead of complaining, he has been asking me how he could buy an island from me. I thought you were going to make it cost an arm and a leg, for 50 generations. True, but I'm a flexible man. I'll show you one day. She punched me. Be serious. I'm always serious about making you moan my name. She punched me again. Just tell me how he's going to pay off an island. Theron came in contact with a powerful magic elven artifact, an illuvian. Illuvian. It is a large mirror. Large, like, say, 10 feet, glowy, crackling with lyrium. I gave her a confused look. You've seen one? Yeah, when Duncan, Aidan, and I ran into Theron's clan. She went on about how they recruited Theron and how they had to destroy the illuvian, because according to Duncan it was filled with the taint. That just brought up more questions. Did the taint infect the lyrium? Did the rising of the veil cause the corruption? Or was the taint always used to make the illuvians, and did it go bad because no one was there to keep the taint from spreading? I just don't know enough about them. In any case, you're correct. If Theron can acquire a working illuvian or at the very least an intact one I could study, I would consider that payment for his own flying island. I mean, in Trespasser, the Kunari find them by the truckload, so why not outsource? Why do you even want one? Have you noticed that the elves don't have roads? No connecting infrastructure from city to city. I did some research and found out that the elves had illuvians in all their cities. At first, I thought it was like my mirror phones, a quick way to communicate, but my mirrors are small, compact, and not too difficult to make as long as you have a little imagination and knowledge on runes. So, I began thinking, what if they're not only for communication, but also for travel? What if elven explorers carry an illuvian to a new location, activate it, and immediately have contact with the rest of elven civilization, supplies, and trade? One moment, if the elves had this power, why did they not use it when the humans attacked? Neria asked. That's a good question. I have no doubt some historians out there are asking that very same question. My theory, they couldn't. Couldn't. Indeed, Theron. Couldn't. My theory is that the elves were already defeated. By themselves. Who else knows about the illuvians? I believe there was some sort of civil war. That still doesn't explain why they didn't use them after. You're on fire today, Neria. That had me stumped too. I believed the illuvians might have become dangerous for people to use. An enemy could appear at any time, so they abandoned them. Does anyone know how Mother Base moves? Don't worry, it ties into my theory. I believe your engine does the heavy lifting. Duncan called out. Correct. And what powers the engine? The glowing rocks, Kalen answered, like a child who knew the answer and couldn't hold it in. Correct. My mass of mini-arc reactors powers my engine, and what do the reactors produce? Mana. I shook my head at Aiden. Nope, my reactors produce power in the form of electricity. I use a rune to convert that power into magic. The same way Jack converts mana into lightning. Theron stops walking and fully turns to me. You don't use the Fade to power Mother Base. It wasn't a question but a fact. Nope, I broke away from using the realm of magic to power my ship. Why, isn't it easier to use the Fade to power your ship? Asked Alyssa. No doubt. Boo it. Anyone could do that. And if there's a master of the Fade, a master of magic, they could possibly cut the connection to the ship. And if it's in the air you would die. I nodded at Morrigan. I believe Morrigan was right. Everyone was giving me a confused look. Back when we talked about the origins of the Veil, I believed someone of great power created the Veil, and if elven civilization was built on the foundation of magic, then the elves of Elfhenen were already at a huge disadvantage by the time the humans arrived, Theron concluded. The early humans who arrived here probably fought an already defeated foe. From what I am told, elves used to have flying islands like mine, but for some reason no longer use them. If my theory is correct, then that could be explained by this. Duncan, Nat told me that you, her, and Aiden found a working one in some ancient elven ruins, yes? Indeed, it had the taint within. I had to destroy it. Wise. I do not know how they work, and maybe that was why they were abandoned. Maybe the blight is older than we think. Are you saying the elves caused the dark spawn? I shook my head. No, my words were dead serious. I believe the taint comes from elsewhere. It may not even be of this world, of this realm. We know of the magic realm, celestial realm, and our material realm. It is completely plausible that there are other realms that it could have been from. Shoot the Chantry could have gotten it right, and when the Tevinter mages jumped into the Fade, they could have brought something back with them, who knows? Let's put that away for later. When I found the Illuvian, it was still working. Were you able to enter? No, but someone might have. When I first found it, I was with someone, Tamlin. He was a fellow elf, a hunter. He disappeared, no body to be found. I thought that some animal may have carried him away, but if your theory is true, he may have fallen into the mirror. I finished Theron's theory. He could be anywhere. Unless the Illuvians have a way to pick their destinations, he could be on the other side of the planet. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. From what you told me, you were lucky. If Duncan didn't pass through your village, you would have died from the taint. But if we found him, could you heal him? It's possible, I did it with Ruck. As long as the taint hasn't corrupted him beyond my ability. He just nodded. Do you believe you can get the illuvians working? Asked Wynne. They're already working, at least the smaller ones. Those for personal use, like the one in the ruins, were probably used by high-level elves, government workers, priests, and the wealthy. The ones that may have been in the cities were probably destroyed or moved somewhere where the enemy couldn't use them. I have no doubt that some ruler out there is using the illuvians to insert spies into their enemy's home. That got Kalen talking, taking attention away from me. Is that why you want one? Nat asked. I rolled my eyes. Don't be adorably ridiculous, Nat. I want to make my own network, outside of the elven one. That way I don't need to worry about running into a nation's spy. First of all, don't call me adorably anything. Sorry, sexily ridiculous. She punched me. Second, why? I gave her a smirk. Because I want to travel the world and have a quick way back here, back anywhere. To make the world just a bit smaller, to not be held down by time and dangers. To share the world with my friends who can't travel with me. I lowered myself to whisper in her ear, so if you ever call me, I'm never too far away. She blushed and looked away. This is why I love him. Julie appeared next to us with a huge genuine smile. Nothing is impossible for him. I think my heart skipped a beat. I know my face was blushing, just by Nat's malicious smirk. Nick, are you weak to compliments? Her voice was filled with malicious intrigue to match her face. Like a lawyer who found his enemy in a lie. She pulled me close to whisper. I like your eyes. They make me feel safe and sexy. She pulled away with a happy smirk. Nice hips. My voice cracked. Damn it, I felt my body cringe in embarrassment. She let out the happiest joy-filled laugh I've ever heard. She grabbed my face. You're mine now. Julie slid up next to her. It's about time. Sky is planning on going next, but she led a smirking Nat away. A giggling Jack walked next to me. She got you now. I have no idea what you're talking about, I muttered. She entangles our hands. I get compliments all the time. Sure, from a bunch of nobodies. But when your friends, your hot lady friends, start giving you honest compliments, you start fidgeting, stuttering, blushing. She rubbed my cheek. You're so cute. Damn this woman. Damn her and her sexy smirk. She let go of my hand, leaving it to face the cold by itself, and walked over to a blushing Nat surrounded by Julie and Sky. This is going to be a long trip. We found the werewolves trail pretty easy. We concluded that it would most likely lead to a trap, but having no other route we had to follow where it led. 2 days of following the trail we ran into an annoying problem. It's like my 15th birthday all over again, screamed out Theron, who was being swung around by a living tree. In the game, you could tell when you see a living tree, but in real life, these damn things were bloody invisible. I nearly burned down the forest when I set the first one on fire. The damn thing started running around like a headless chicken, catching everything else on fire. Had to use create water to stop the forest from burning to the ground. Hold still. I learned from my mistakes. Using fisticuffs and armament haki, I started chopping down tree limbs. The others had its body. How did it get you? They're sneaky, but make a butt-ton of noise when moving. He was kicking the branches that had him tangled. A spell at that range would probably hit him too. I had to piss. I just picked the wrong tree. I finally got to the branch that was holding him, giving him enough freedom to escape. I hate these stupid things. Why couldn't we elves be more at home in a desert? We were able to float away far enough for Sky to use her full strength to snap the tree in half. Fun fact, did you know that when a tree is chopped down it sends out a signal to all the other trees around it that someone is chopping him down? This in turn makes the other trees around it get stronger. I'm only saying this because Sylvans tend to travel in groups. Usually, the first one is pretty easy to take down, but as we continue chopping him down, the last one tends to be as hard as steel. I hate the surface. Is every nug-licking thing up here possessed by demons? Okran was angry at everything, but to be fair, the Sylvans, as if a last form of revenge, slapped his flask into the river where it disappeared in less than a second. He's been swinging his brand new battle axe I made him at every tree we came across. He hasn't gotten a single sylvan, only defenseless trees. Okran, calm down. Here, I passed him a bottle of whiskey. When Okran joined us I thought some alcohol would be for the best. The gamer's store sold them pretty cheap. I think it was because alcohol was prevalent throughout the multiverse. Whatever the case, it was cheap and Okran didn't complain. Hey, this is why I like you, kid. Magic is weird, but if it could hold an infinite amount of alcohol, I'm all for it. He popped the top and took a swig. Not bad. Smoky. Where'd ya buy it? Up north, past Thedas. Got more? I stocked up. Never know when you're going to need to liven up a party or make a firebomb. Too true. Don't see you drinking much though. I shrugged. Not much of a drinker. I mostly drink for special occasions, weddings, funerals, celebrations, but only if they're classy, that sort of thing. He waved me off. Bah, ya shouldn't hold yourself back like that. I say drink all the alcohol all the time. This man must have the liver of a god. Try not to drink it all in one go, 'cause I'm not your alcohol dispenser. He waved me off, taking another swig. He needs a lady. Why haven't we found any werewolves? Asked Alyssa. Why would we? They led us through the Sylvans. No doubt they're somewhere farther down the road. They probably wanted the trees to give us a good beating before taking their shot. Neria's right. I have no doubt Witherfang is somewhere up ahead, standing majestically in its white fur waiting for us in a dramatic pose. Trying to be intimidating or whatnot. They gave me a weird look. Oh, come on guys, there's a good chance they're gonna monologue at us. The mage has lost its mind. Shale muttered to Sten, who only grunted, but still had a smirk. I put some money on that. You're on that, 30 silver. You're on. And just like I said, there she was. She was the size of a horse. She was being flanked by 2 burly-looking werewolves. Oh, come on. Just like with Branka, I summoned an earth pillar under her, sending her flying into the air toward us. She twisted in the air like a cat. She looked terrifying, teeth the size of my fingers, claws covered in barbs, strangely aerodynamic, but it was all for naught as another earth pillar appeared, launching her higher into the air courtesy of Sereda. Damn, that looked painful. This time she came down like a dog, but I softened the ground before she hit. My lady, one of the werewolves called out. Before Witherfang got up off the floor, I buried her up to her head. All right people, with Witherfang now at our mercy, every werewolf in the forest will try and take a bite from our butts, so let's make this quick. We thought up this idea when we were walking through the woods. It was simple, get Witherfang to talk. That was it, no more steps. My name is Theron Mahariel and I have come to bargain. As Theron was making his cool upper-handed speech, Sereda and I were making a deep moat without water stretching about 60 feet, making it nearly impossible for a werewolf to reach us. Ah, Nick. Turning around I found Witherfang reverted into her woman form, trying to climb out of the hole her transformation left behind. I resealed the hole, trapping her up to her waist. Thank you. Now Witherfang, I have come to bargain. Awakened spirit. Lady of the forest aka Witherfang. Age, unknown. LVL, 79. HP, 3,944 thousandths. MP, 2000. Street, all power of a possessed wolf. V, has never skipped leg day. Dex, speed. Int, this curse must come to an end. Wis, no matter what. Char, all dryads are beautiful. Luck, trapped. Witherfang was a great wolf to which Zathrian bound the spirit of the forest centuries earlier to get revenge on the humans that murdered his son and raped his daughter. Witherfang hunted the humans, slaying some and passing the werewolf curse through his blood to others. These cursed humans were driven into the forest and remained there when their tribe left. The curse passed on to their descendants. With Zathrian refusing every one of the werewolves' summons, they resorted to ambushing his clan to spread the curse to them and thus force a confrontation. She doesn't like you. I don't like you. Damn, she looked me straight in the eyes. Yeah, well, eat my shorts. I will eat your face. Well, have fun. I'm gamey. Focus. Theron called out. Witherfang, we have come here to break the curse. Then you seek the wrong being for it. Is Zathrian? Yes, we already know that. He has a theory that your heart would be able to cure his people. I doubt it. I'm hoping we could solve this problem without any more bloodshed. She was quiet. And why should I trust you? Because I have you at my mercy and I haven't tried to kill you. Sir Nicholas. I turned to Serida, and the dozens upon dozens of werewolves circling the mold. That's a lot. We could smite them. Love the confidence. Nick, tell me we have a way out of here. Jackie stood next to me. I patted her hand, calming her down. Of course. I was just going to lift us up into the sky and have Dagna pick us up. I'm willing to talk, but only in the temple within the forest. I heard Lady talk to her. Why there? The forest must test you. Otherwise, the wolves will not agree. I feel like you just want to get us in a place where you have the upper hand, I called out. You know nothing. The forest is connected. All things within the trees have a. Listen fam, I'll let you finish, but one of your boys just tried to jump a gorge and fell to their doom. So how about order them to stop or we get to watch your furry little friends die one by one. We all watched another werewolf try and jump to us only to make it 20 feet and fall to its death. You have killed a werewolf for 300 express plus 150 express for trap kill. Fool, a mere fall will not kill my. I put spikes at the bottom. She glared at me. May your death be humorous and sad. Quick as a whip I started pinching her cheek. Ow, ow, ow. I shall make you into a wolf. And force you to clean after everyone. I started adding pressure and strength to my fingers and began to give her a nuggie. Ow, ow, ow. She tried to slap me away, but with me having the leverage, it was a futile effort. Nick, what are you doing? Simple Nat. I'm establishing dominance. Sky held her down. Sky came over and grabbed her hands. While it's true that Sky was at a lower level than Witherfang, her strength is greater than Witherfang's, I think. My stats had weird descriptions, but at the end of the day, dragon beats wolf, every time. This just reinforces the idea that levels are nonsense. A knight with a sword or a villager with a pitchfork. If they stab you in the face, expect yourself to meet your maker, and sure there's a chance that Gamer's body might save me, but I don't want to test that. Now, how about you tell your boys to back down? She gave me the nastiest glare. She then gave out the loudest whistle I have ever heard. The wolves froze, they now numbered in the hundreds. Belanaris Dinan Heem, she muttered under her breath. I grabbed her cheek with such force she screamed in shock. I reached up to my translation rune, turning it off. Watch what you say. Everyone backed away, confusion on their faces. Do you really think I can't kill those stupid dogs? I stretched out my hand, making the earth underneath the werewolves break apart and bury them up to their waist. The whining and whimpering of wolves drowned out the forest. I don't have to help. I don't care about your issues with Zathrian, but I do care about the innocent humans and elves you and that idiot have put in between your squabbling. So, my friend here will ask you some questions, answer them. The or else was implied. I turned my back to her, giving Theron command, and gave the werewolves my full attention. Nat came up next to me. Your Dwarvish could use some work. Also, you know Dwarvish. Since when? I turned on my translation rune. I speak every language, poorly. For now, anyway. It was a spell I gained. I speak my native tongue and you hear your native tongue or a language you find to be the easiest to understand. Sounds like a useful spell. I shrugged. It is, but you can't turn it off. I use my translation rune to focus on a single language. But Sky doesn't speak any language. When we fought her, all we heard was roaring. How is she able to understand you? Don't underestimate runes, Nat. The translation rune I have focuses on one language, but if the person never heard that language, my rune would try and find the nearest translation, using my own memories. And you heard, Dragoness, before. Draconic, I corrected, and yes, I did. Remember Laura, Jack and Julie's sister-in-law? She was a dragon. I picked up a little from her, but according to her and Sky my accent is atrocious. You're a strange person, Nick. Thank you. Will you ever tell us all your secrets? One day, probably when all this is over with, but I warn you, fact is stranger than fiction. I'll be the judge of that, she smirked at me. I smirked back. Nick, we got our information, you can let her go. I released her from her makeshift prison. She stopped at the edge. I require a way across. She looked at me, and I did nothing. Please, she hissed. I created a bridge. When she finished crossing, I allowed the bridge to fall and released the werewolves. They looked ready to attack, but backed away and ran off at Witherfang's order. She stayed behind and slowly backed into the forest, disappearing into its shadow. Homer did it better. So, what now? We head to the temple. If we want to end this without any more blood, we're going to need to get the approval of the forest. Whatever the void that means. Theron explained. I know this is going to sound racist, but are you sure? Yes, just because we elves must dance naked in the moonlight doesn't mean we know anything about getting to forest's approval. Damn, well, it's getting late. Neria, you can get naked anytime you like. I dodged her lightning strike. Hey, I'm only trying to show some cultural appreciation. If you want, I could join you. I didn't dodge her next attack. You have been attacked by Neria Serrana for 1 point of lightning damage. Friendly fire. You have taken no damage. Sorry, you're right. I was rude. Ladies, do you want to join? Serida threw a rock at my head. The worst. And that's why you love me. Course you're a perv. No, my beautiful Nat, I brought her in close, because I'm honest. Ladies love an honest, mysterious man. Those two things don't go together. Maybe, but that doesn't stop you from wanting to know me more. You're a madman. Yes, but in a mad world, a madman is the only person you can trust. / Okay, I was wrong. Don't trust the madmen. Dude, this hermit is crazy. Human sorcerer. Richard, son of Sarah. Age, 60. LVL, 54. HP, 800 and 800ths. MP, 2000. Street, an avid woodsman. V, camper. Dex, see this staff? Not anymore. Int, he's crazy. Wis, he crazy. Char, he smells. Luck, he hasn't been caught yet. Ailment. Madness. Broken psyche. Schizophrenic. Extreme paranoia. He is a deranged apostate who lives in the Brecilian forest. The elves believe that the hermit is infamous among the Dalish. He is a Shemlan blood mage hiding from the Chantry. He apparently constructed a tower in the Brecilian forest which has since mysteriously disappeared. He's crazy. You might be a figment of his imagination. Yeah, no, I'm not touching that man. Sure, it would be the right thing to do, but the corpses of humans, elves, and werewolves tells me that's a bad idea. My intuition and common sense agreed. So, for these boots, you will give us the acorn. Theron was doing the negotiations, or the trading, I guess. I wonder how Dagon would feel if he knew Theron was just giving his boots away. Who cares, I gave him a new pair after healing him and sending him back to camp. Yes, give them to me. The ideas were exchanged. We got the ancient elven helmet. I just know Theron is going to try and make me add it to his armor, some book, and finally the acorn. Time to bounce before this guy thinks we look tasty. I know killing this guy would probably be the right thing to do, but in all honesty, this guy was dangerous. One wrong move and we could be in a lot of trouble. Well, this is goodbye. Theron began to walk away, not taking his eyes off the madman. The man snapped his eyes from his new boots to us. He had an ugly look on his face, something between a grin and constipation. You know, here we go. I've been so lonely without anyone out here, only the trees and dogs. How about one of the women stay? I saw Theron tense, and so did everyone else. In fact, they should all stay. Theron's finger twitched, letting out a small spark, causing the man to freeze in place. He narrowed his eyes at us. No, now leave. Warden Theron was not about to let this freak do whatever he wanted. But I want them, and I get what I cut him off with a haki-infused dash punch to his face, slamming him through a tree and the tree behind that one. Alistair zoomed next to me, stabbing a demon coming out of the ground. All around us the forest was coming to life. Sylvans, corpses, demons, and even some werewolves were coming out to play. What I want. Richard came back out of the forest. His face was beaten in, blood running down his face into his arms. Blood mage, great. Nick, Theron called out. I didn't even look at him and just nodded. I dashed forward, delivering a Haki-infused knee kick at Richard's head, but whatever spell he was using gave him greater strength than he had before because he was able to block my knee. Not hesitating, I punched him in the face before he got to do anything. It didn't crack his head open as I wanted, but it did drop him. But like a rubber ball, he bounced back to his feet, throwing a wild haymaker. He may be strong, but he had no combat experience. He was sloppy, swinging wildly. Anything he hit exploded into dust, trees turned into splinters, and if I wasn't fixing the ground after each attack, I would be fighting on very dangerous terrain. Every time he would overextend, I would deliver a fierce Haki-infused punch to his ribs or to his face, but no matter what I did, he would just get up for more. He, you sure know how to punch. Shut up and die. Where the hell is he getting this power from? Most mages are the thinky kind. More. He rushed me. His moves were still sloppy, but he was getting better, faster, stronger. You have been struck by Richard for 150 points of bludgeoning damage. Armor has mitigated 90% of the damage. You have taken 15 points of bludgeoning damage. You have been hit by a tremendous force and knocked back 10 meters. Armor mitigated 90% of the force, and knocked back 1 meter. Shields are down for 5 minutes until recharged. Fuck, I rolled with the blow, avoiding his next attack, which destroyed the ground I would have been on. I retaliated with a knee to the temple that launched him back into a tree about 30 feet away. But like before, he was back on his feet. Yes, more. He rushed me, and I met him halfway with a punch to his face. He was ready for it, spinning, and tried to backhand me, but I haven't been getting my ass handed to me by wardens, dragons, and Kunari warriors for nothing. Ducking underneath the blow, I delivered an uppercut to his jaw, followed closely with a firebolt to his chest, setting him on fire. He didn't care, just got back up and kept attacking. This is so much fun. More. The blood is so pretty. Blood. Looking around, I found the corpses of werewolves, sylvans, fresh corpses. This bastard is using the blood of others to keep him going. Human sorcerer. Richard. HP. 700, 706, 718. MP. 1000, 2000. Weakness. Bleeding. Single-minded focus. Old. Weak-minded. Burning. I began making illusions of myself with prestidigitation. I was going full Loki. With every clone he destroyed and with every punch I gave him, his MP was slowly depleting. Stop hiding. He slammed the ground, causing a huge shock wave, dissipating all the clones and throwing a huge amount of dust into the air. Using the dust, I launched myself into the sky. Using airbending, I made an air platform hard enough to use dash. Richard didn't even see me coming, and I punched him in the back of the head, burying him up to his waist. Not waiting for him to escape, I hardened the ground and grabbed one of his legs, and using my full strength I ripped it off, covering me in gore. I was about to do the same with the other one, but the ground exploded, launching me away. That hurt. I'm getting tired of you. He was back on his feet with hardened blood acting as his missing foot. That makes 2 of us. I shoved all my stat points into my V, Dex, and Street. Threshold reached. For you are mighty. You have gained a new title. Doom-driven. Doom-driven, the earth quakes under your feet. Nothing is too impossible, too outlandish. You stand above the madness that is the end. Nothing can stop you when you're on a mission. Plus 15% to Street, V, and Dex when using this title. I slapped that title on me immediately. I felt my body grow stronger, my muscles tightened, my breathing even out, and I felt fresh. Come die already. We rushed each other, our blows slammed into each other, causing small shockwaves, but I paid them no mind. The madman was my only focus. I just kept pouring on the blows, slowly overpowering him, breaking his guard, allowing me to lay a hell of a fury of punches, finishing with a Superman punch to his face. The breaking of his bones was music to my ears. He flew through the air for the last time, slamming into a tree where he stayed. I released a long breath. Nick Walters. HP 204,500. MP 3000 4200. CP 144,500. Fuck me, that was close. If I didn't have my armor, I wouldn't have won. I looked over to Richard, but I didn't get a prompt that he was dead, so I had to go over there and double tap. Richard, son of Sarah. HP 3800. MP 02000. I pulled him off the tree and let him flop onto the ground. Damn, am I tired. That was some battle. Holy shit, he's still awake. You sure are stubborn. Yeah, I was not going to die in no tower. No, I guess not. I gave him one last haki-infused stomp to his head, crushing it like a ripe melon. You have killed Richard, son of Sarah, for 30,000 express. You have gained 1 golden ring, Richard's journal, and 1 gold. I began healing myself. I may not be able to punch someone to pieces, but I could still give some long-distance support. Turns out that was unnecessary. With the death of Richard, any mind-controlled creatures beelined it out of here. The corpses fell apart and leaving the demons outnumbered and outmatched. That was most impressive. I turned to the voice with a firebolt in hand. I didn't even sense this guy, so Danger's sense must have thought he wasn't a threat, but I wasn't taking any chances. Whoa, friendly. It was an elf, male, Dalish, based on the tattoos. Elf sorcerer. Anirin of Denerim. Age, 43. LVL, 39. HP, 800 and 800. MP 800 and 800. Street, woodsman. V, avid runner. Dex, treehopper. Int, has concluded that most people are butts. Wis, best not burn any bridges. Char, rugged. Luck, has lived in the forest most of his life without any problems. Anirin was born in the Denerim alienage but was taken to the circle after his magic manifested. He was very defiant towards humans, especially those in a position of authority. In Canlock Hold, he was apprenticed to Wynn, at the time a young and inexperienced teacher. Anirin needed time to adapt to the circle, but Wynn gave him no such time. Whenever he tried to talk to her, she insisted that he concentrate on casting his spells. He often talked about the Dalish and how he wanted to seek him out. One night, at the age of 14, he fled from the tower. Using his phylactery, the Templars hunted him down and left him for dead. Fortunately, a Dalish clan found him, took him, and nursed him back to health. He saw your fight and finds you to be an amazing warrior. Sorry for the scare, name's Anirin. I live out here. Heard the commotion, thought that madmen started destroying the forest again, screaming about how they have come to get him. You can imagine my surprise when I found you fighting him. He looked over to the corpse. I never would have thought he would have been defeated in combat. Why? He uses the blood of others to power himself. With every drop of blood, he would gain more strength. I once saw him kill over 30 werewolves. He would have killed more, but they cut their loss and ran. He didn't though, he just kept fighting, destroying, ravishing. He destroyed a large part of the forest, along with a Dalish clan that saved me when I nearly died. I thank you for killing him. Nick, who's this? Ayla ran over, finally spotting Anirin. Greetings, my name is Anirin. Your battle gained my attention, I mean you no harm. Are you only saying that because I have a blade to your back? Nat called out from behind him. Whoa. He put up his hands in the air. Didn't see you there. Yeah, that's the point. Ease up a bit, Nat. He means no harm. In fact, I think someone in our group knows him. I led us back to the rest of the team who was cleaning up. Guess who? Nicholas, good job with the blood mage. Who's this? Duncan called out. He packed a punch, but nothing I couldn't handle. This is Anirin, Dalish, mage. Lives out here, followed the noises we made. Anirin, Wynn came out of the group. I allowed her to talk with her old apprentice. Hey, Sky, how are you? I reached out and cupped her face. Hi Dragon. Sky Skipper. Age, 140. LVL, 57. HP 1800 and 2500. MP 2000 4500. Street, she's still a dragon. V, she works out every day. Dex, mean, lean, and ready to eviscerate. Int, literate and proud. Wis, word can hurt people just as good as her claws. Char, she a whole lot of fine. Luck, she found a smart man. Ailments. Bruised ribs. Fractured finger x2. Sky Skipper is the 7th youngest daughter of Thunder Rain. She was born in the Anderfels, or the Dry Sea as she calls it, and moved to the Frostbacks when she was old enough. She loves the color of her scales being the color of freshly fallen snow. She takes great pride in her scales and will crush you if you call them ugly. She likes the way you care for her. I'm okay, you don't need to worry, I'm a dragon. It will take more than 10 trees to put me down. She gave me a sharp grin. It was cute. I know, but I'm a small human, and I worry. She nuzzled into me. Then I will protect you. So, you don't need to worry. Thank you. Now how about we go and see Jack and Julie, and see if they're okay? She nodded and carried me away. Jackie, Julie, she dragged me over to them. Hey, Sky, Julie waved back. Sky plopped me in front of them. Hey Nick, she gave me a light kiss. How are you? I saw the shockwaves from where I was. Looked nasty. I began healing her. Blood mages are no joke. If it wasn't for my armor I would have been in deep shit. She gave me a once-over. Sky was patting me down, checking for injuries. Really, after Joan and the tower, I thought most of them were pretty weak. Jack, Joan was trapped in a dungeon and the mages in the tower looked new to the whole blood magic thing. Richard was a veteran and lived out here with the werewolves, sylvans, elves, and any Templars that came after him. Finishing with Julie, I walked over to Jackie. And what of you two? Had fun? The undead were annoying but not really a threat. It was the sylvans, bloody things wouldn't stay down. Jackie was mostly fine with small scratches and low mana. Well, you still did a good job. I waved my hand at the dozens of trees laying broken, and being the kleptomaniac guy I was, I began collecting them into my inventory to make into logs for later. Oak, nice. What are you doing? Asked Okran. Collecting wood. Why? They used to have demons. Yes, and now they're wood that I could use to make furniture. Waste not, want not. People who buy things are fools. Yar a pack nug ain't yar. I don't like spending money, sue me. I was raised with the idea that most things can be made if you think outside the box. Or do you not like your new armor? He grabbed onto it like I was going to take it away, even though he was wearing it. Go back to yar hoarding yar nug liquor. Leave a man to his things. That's what I thought. / After Wynne had a heart-to-heart with her old student, we gave him a final goodbye and he gave us some sense of what we were supposed to do to get the forest's blessing. According to him, the forest had a revenant problem. Something about some crazy blood mages killing people. We told him about the rhyming tree, and he had a good laugh at that. But he did confirm that the spirit that possessed that tree was old and could possess a power that could give passage throughout the forest. So that's what we did. Finding the blood mages was easy. They were chanting some nonsense at the top of their lungs. And we didn't even give them a chance to talk. All the dead bodies around them spoke plenty about what kind of people they were. The revenants were another problem. They were all over the forest, hiding behind ancient Tevinter architecture, deep in the forest under a hill, inside a tree. That one was the worst. I had to use my dark magic detector, and guess what? The Brecilian forest has a lot of dark shit happen in it. They had some scrolls on them. Theron seemed to find them interesting. My detector pointed somewhere deeper in the forest, probably past the fog. After returning the acorn to the rhyming tree and getting one of its branches, we were able to pass through the fog running right into Swift Runner. It seems like the forest did not do a good enough job to keep you out. His voice was annoying, mostly because of the snarling, which made it hard to understand what he was saying. We wish for no harm. Theron started. Witherfang told us that if we were able to meet with her, something about a peaceful way of ending all this if we got the blessing of the forest. And since we're here, that means we gained a right to talk. You gain nothing. Getting the blessing only proves that you will not destroy the forest. If you wish to talk, you must pass our test. How many bloody tests must we take? Which is? Theron really wants this to go well. There is a temple up ahead. We are within its walls, pass through the temple and reach us at the end. All new werewolves must do this. If you want us to listen, you must become one of us." He and his little group of about 6 werewolves sprinted away. We ended up fighting another revenant on our way to the temple. We came across a werewolf crying in pain, something about her being an elf and not wanting to be one. I just buried her and shoved a potion down her throat. After a bright flash, she was back to normal and very naked. I gave her some clothes and had a team of 15 golems escort her back to camp. We finally reached the temple and I sat my ass down. "Nick, what's wrong?" "That, my dear Ayla, looks like a legitimate temple," I blandly spoke out. "Ah, hey, did you not hear the werewolf?" "Yes, but he was a werewolf, who lived his whole life in the forest. What does he know about temples? I thought he was talking about some large rundown mansion of some sort out here, not a real to honest temple." "So, who cares?" I get up and smush her face. "Ayla, my adorable little ragamuffin, what do you do in temples?" "Ah, pray. To gods. And what does Maury keep calling me?" "Oh," I let go of her face. "I'm not going in there. I laid down the law. Nothing in this blue orb floating through space would get me into that temple." Jackie S. mushed my face. "Nick, that is an honest to the gods ancient ruined temple. That is something adventurers like us do. We have to go in there. I'm pretty sure it's a law somewhere." I remove her hands from my face. "Sweetie, honey, baby, I'm not stopping you. Ya wanna go in there and find long lost treasure, be my guest, more power to ya. No, we have to go together. Like a true party, Julie as our rogue, Sky as the fighter, me as the mage, and you as our healer. And ya know, the rest of these guys. I guess." She waved at the rest of the group. Alistair gave an affronted look. She sounded like a kid who was about to play her favorite game. "I'm the handsome leader," Theron coughed out, "and besides, the temple is old and in ruins. No one has prayed here in many years. In fact, it looks more Tevinter than Elven." "Are you only saying that because you just want to contact the Elven gods?" I gave him a deadpan look. "No," Theron deadpanned. "Are you going to immediately start praying in the hopes that one of your gods answers?" "No. I'm not going in there." Theron jumped on me, trying to manhandle me. "Don't be like that," he whined. Jack joined him. "Yeah, we're a team. Sky, get him." Sky looked conflicted. "You get a week to yourself." And she was on me. I had no chance. To adventure. "I'm not doing that tongue thing you like so much." "Parlise, you won't last a week. You love me too much." "Damn, she's right. I love the face she makes." "Mark my words, Theron. If one of your gods contacts me, I'm going to give their blessing to Aiden." "What? Why me?" "Because you're the most humanly human I know." "No, better yet, I'm giving it to Morrigan. We both know she would gloat about it for days. Weeks even." Morrigan rolled her eyes. "And you say you're the older brother? That's cold, Nick. Can't you pick Alistair?" Theron joked. "No, he can't," Alistair screamed. "What about Neria?" He tried again. "I'm good, thanks. Keep pushing, I'll choose Okran next and he'll do it." "The void I will. What if I pay you with endless booze?" "Can you match that elf boy?" Okran asked, thinking over my offer. "Ah, how about with friendship? What does this blessing thing intel?" Okay, I won't pray in the temple, probably." "What was that?" I growled. "Nothing." I had my eyes closed when we walked into the thinking something would happen. "So, anything?" I cracked one eye. "Nope," I smirked. "Damn. What was that?" "Nothing," Theron tisked. "Sky sweetie, please put me down." "I'm okay now." She put me down. "Thank you." The temple was beautiful, if destroyed, and covered in tree vines. And like every ancient temple in every game ever made, zombies started attacking us. It was mostly only zombies, giant spiders, a demon or two, and another revenant. We finally ran into a room with the strange glowing shrine. Phylactery. This bottle has the knowledge of an ancient elven warrior. I put my finger on the stopper and dipped it into my finger. Suddenly I was in a pitch-white room, standing in front of an elf in glimmery silver armor. Memory shard. Sylvie R. Beacon. The arcane warriors were elven elite guardsmen serving as bodyguards or champions for ancient elven nobles. The formal name of their techniques is Derthina Enazelen, knowledge that led to victory. Mages who eschewed physical confrontation called it Gilanum Benalven, the path that leads astray. Mages who focused on spirits or the Fade might sneer at their physicality, but never doubted their honor. They were the willing embodiment of will made manifest, the mind shaping the body into the perfect weapon. Knight enchanters used techniques derived from those used by arcane warriors. I gave a look around, spotting nothing but an empty room. It wasn't like the time I met the Maker or the Stone, it was just an empty white room. Hello. Hi, where are we? We are within your mind, but I have never seen such a clear mind before. Gamer's mind strikes again. Right, well, so, I wish for my duty to end. Yep, and what do I get out of it? I am willing to give you the knowledge of the arcane warriors. Shake on it. We shook. New deal struck. For your help in freeing the memory of Sylvie R. Beacon, you will gain the abilities of the arcane warrior. Failing, Theron will see you as a butt face. Succeeding, Theron will see you as a butt face, but he'll get over it. With that, I was back in the real world. Everyone was looking at me. What? You froze, Theron pointed out. I didn't freeze. Yeah, froze. 1 minute you touched the bottle, next you stuttered. Were you guys looking at me this whole time waiting for something to happen to me? No, they said in unison. Ugh, listen up. No, it wasn't a god. It was a memory shard of an ancient elven warrior, who will give me the knowledge to be an arcane warrior. They just looked at me. Can you teach me? Theron asked, hope in his eyes. I could, but I won't, 'cause I don't want to. You're a butt face. What was that? Nothing. Humph. I walked over to the shrine. Alright, you ready? Images began flooding my mind. You have been given skills from a memory shard. Combat magic, come taste my magic. You can now switch MP instead of using CP when using skills involving combat. At a 110 change rate. You are unskilled, rank initiate. Spirit blade, may the force be with you. You create a blade of solid magic to make melee attacks against nearby enemies. Dealing damage with other abilities charges the blade. Attacking expends this charge to deal additional damage. Spirit damage, 150% weapon damage. Bonus, 100% against barrier and 100% against guard. Aura of might, do you feel my power? Its weight, its girth. You give out an aura of power. For 50 MP per second, all allies within a 50-foot area are given 5% to street, V, and dex. You are unskilled, rank initiate. Shimmering shield, it's called personal space. You can make a shield to protect yourself from danger. You can make a shield with a durability of 150. You are unskilled, rank initiate. Fade shroud, can't touch this. You can now dip into the astral plane to avoid danger. 120 MP per second for every second you're in the astral plane. You are unskilled, rank initiate. I immediately made a hilt using my crafting skill using 1 redwood log, 1 cubic foot of steel, and a single drake heartstring. You have created 1 spiritual blade hilt. 500 express. Hey, Theron, I activated the blade like a lightsaber. Eat my shorts. I placed the phylactery on the marble altar. I'm extremely jealous. What a poker face. And like the grown-ass adult that I am, I started swinging my new sword around. It even made that cool lightsaber noise. Morrigan gave me a glare. Knock it off. You're going to hurt yourself. And more importantly me. Gods, can you get any more jealous? Throw yourself off a cliff. Love you too, ya buzzkill. Not going to lie, chopping down undead was kick-ass. Having Theron complain to me about every swing of the blade wasn't. Come to your doom. The hell? The void was that? Alyssa called out. It sounded like a roar. Kalen called out, bringing up his sword at the ready. I need to put a translator in their armors. It sounded like Nat's stomach that one time she missed lunch. She punched me. Hey, that was Alistair. Whoa, sorry. It just sounded like something you would say. Nua, Nick would have added something about how he would have made you moan like that. Jack joked. It would have been funny, but Jack punched me again. Woman. Sorry, it did sound like something you would think of. I retaliated the only way I knew I could. I slapped her ass. We're even. She just stared at me with a growing blush on her face covering her butt cheeks. For now, she gaped at me. There is a dragonling here. We all looked at Sky, whose eyes were narrowed looking down one of the rooms. She's challenging me. Us. She blinked at my correction. I grabbed her face and had her look at me. You're no longer alone. Us. Not me. She looked at me. We are many now. She gave me her signature toothy smile. She's challenging us, she said firmly. She grabbed my face and gave me a deep kiss, letting me go after a 15-second kiss. Like a fresh glass of water at 2 in the morning. Let's go beat up a child. Yeah. No Okran, no, I muttered. This room couldn't be more of a boss room if boss music started blaring through the ancient temple. I am your doom, a dragon shouted standing at about 15 feet. Unlike Sky, this dragon had pitch black scales and red eyes. I shall eat your gross bodies. Ah. Dragon Hobo. Astral Strider. Age, 78. LVL 35. HP 1000. MP 3000 and 3000ths. Street, she's young but still a dragon. V, she's been eaten too many spiders. Dex, she been lazing around in her small cave. Int, why go out and hunt furry creatures? They come in here for her to eat. Whis, there sure are a bit more snacks than usual. Char, scales of midnight. Luck, fall into her new home. New to the Brazilian forest, she left home 2 years ago. Her mom kept nagging her about what she was going to do for a living. Are you going to get a cave of your own? When are you going to get a harem of drakes? Have you begun building your horde? Are you going to destroy a village or two? Are you going to take landwalker servants? Having enough, she set out on her own. Settling in the Brazilian forest, she accidentally broke through the ceiling and landed in the room you're now in. Originally planning on leaving, she found hairy and spider snacks and decided that this should be her new home. She wonders what you would taste like in spider juice. So, you have come to your doom. Foolish. I, the mighty and beautiful, Astral Strider her grandstanding was cut off by Sky punching her, and I kid you not, knocking the stupid off her face. The power difference was terrifying. For a moment I thought we had to fight as a team in a dramatic showdown that would bring us closer as friends. In the end, all we did was sit back and watch Sky beat the living hell out of the dragon. Ow, please stop. I give. This is sad. Sky. She stopped beating Astral. You got her. She's beaten. Astral, you've lost, and according to the laws of getting your ass kicked, you either have to join us or seek revenge at a later date only to lose comically. The words that came out of my mouth were, in fact, ridiculous, but I got Astral's number. She's a nerd. Didn't know what to do with her life, found a nice place, became comfortable, and fell into a day-to-day simple lifestyle. I'm pretty sure we're most likely her only chance for friendship. You fool. Ow. You think I, the great and powerful, Astral Strider, will take your sad attempts of surrender? Surrender? Is it not you who is laying on the ground begging for mercy? Silence, you pathetic, land-walking fool. Sky, finish her. Ah, no. I'm sorry. Have mercy. She flopped onto her back, showing her stomach. What is she? A dog? Would you change into someone more human-like? What is a human? A land-walker. What? You want me to take such a weak and sad form? I would never. Sky cracked her knuckles. Ah, I'm sorry. Have mercy. She began to glow and slowly transform into a 5'5", black-haired, pale-skinned woman with big red eyes covered in black scales with 2 long twisted horns. Please don't hurt me. Ah, shit. I felt like a bully picking on a child. It didn't help that she looked 16 and crying. I gave Leliana a cloak and jerked my head at Astral's nude body. What if she bites? I shrugged at her. Aren't you into that? She punched me. Fine, I hissed. I grabbed the cloak back and handed it to Serida. Get in there, champ. Nick, just do it. Alistair yelled. Oh yeah, Alistair, let me get in there and drape this cloak over her and have Theron take a picture so he could blackmail me to do what he wants. I wouldn't do that, he deadpanned. That would be more convincing, Theron, if you didn't have your phone pointed at me right now. He slowly put away his phone. Oh, give me that. Wynne grabbed the cloak from Sereda and walked over to Astral, draping the cloak over her. Oh, come on, Wynne, I'm trying to get Nick to teach me the way of the arcane warrior, and a picture of him standing over a young crying girl holding a cloak would have gone a long way. I knew it. Can you monsters just leave now? Astral whined. No can do, Mistress of Doom, we gotta pass through here and we can't risk you destroying our way out. So, welcome to the group. Name's Nick Walter, unloved older brother, clean, gamey. I picked her up like she was luggage and I put a translation rune around her neck in the shape of a choker. Alright people, let's go. I heard a clicking noise, looking at Theron, who had his phone pointed at me. It looks like you're kidnapping a child, he stated. I think we are kidnapping a child, Alyssa pointed out. She's 78, I clarified. We'll see what a judge thinks, unless, Theron retorted. Unless. Arcane warrior lessons, 3 times a week. You play dirty, Theron. I'm also teaching Dagna to rub it in your face. I can live with that. Can you please? I shoved a fully roasted chicken in Astral's mouth. Nev mind. With Astral joining, Reed, kidnapped, I stayed farther in the back producing golems and shoving chickens down Astral's throat to keep her from causing a fuss. We kinda bulldozed our way through the rest of the temple. I'm not going to lie, I kinda lost focus a little. All the rooms looked the same. There was a ghost child and a ghost mom, demons, dark spawn for some reason, and of course, spiders. That and Astral went on about how spiders were the most delicious vegetable, which caused an argument. It was mostly between her and Sky, and it revolved around the idea that Druffalo was a way better vegetable. Neither of those animals is grown from a plant, but we let it go, mostly because I was running low on chickens, and the more they argued the more Astral forgot about food. It wasn't until we ran into the water tunnel that led farther through the temple. I can't swim. We all looked at Astral. Well, you're going to learn today. Hold your breath. That woman, girl, dragon, whatever, she had one hell of a grip. I don't think she liked getting wet. I hate you people. Great. I'm probably going to have to adopt you too. Man, having to take care of one baby sister is bad enough, now too. I'm getting too old for this. Me, the great and powerful Astral, sister to a tiny land walker. Madness. I pulled Richard's golden ring and crafted it into a horn ring. Here, calm down. Oh, shiny. Sky gave me a hard glare. Good lord, I used some of my gold coins to make a piece of larger golden horn jewelry. Sky wouldn't like it if I made her a smaller one. Hey, hers is bigger. Make me a bigger one. Man, did Sky have a smug grin. Sorry, as my little sister, I'll treat you like important luggage. Make sure no crazy person tries to take you. Keep you clean, put cool stickers to show everyone that you belong to me, and so I won't lose you. Sky, on the other hand, is a sexy fully grown lady with magic lips. She gets whatever she wants. Jack bumped me with her hips. What are you willing to give me? She teased. Well, not to brag, but I do have a flying island. Gasp. For me. Well, there is this other redhead. She gasped. You no good scoundrel, to pit 2 girls for your love. Are you quitting? No, I want your love, but mostly your flying island. I can live with that. Thou have a strange relationship. Sereda deadpanned. I agree with the small naked land walker. Silence, thy horn child. This is the holy armor of the stone. Astral leaned over to me. That small land walker believes the dirt gave her power. Is that normal? I shrugged. You get used to it. Sereda punched me. They all show their sexual frustration through violence. Nat and Sereda punched me. I see. My sisters were similar. They ate everything I had. No, I don't think it's anything like that, but whatever. Don't listen to him. Half the words that come out of his mouth are crazy. Morrigan said. That's Morrigan, your older sister. The man next to her is her forever mate. Shut up. Wait. What does that mean? Aiden came over and whispered something causing her to blush and punch him, but she still had a smirk. Whoa, forever mates. I thought they were only legends. Amazing. Morrigan gave us both a death glare at our smirking faces. Wow, maybe you are related, Aiden muttered, only to get punched by Morrigan. Don't take their sides. You belong to me, you take my side. Sorry sweetie, but you guys act like my family. Take that back right now, or I'm cutting you off. If you take it back, I will never give you my blessing to marry my sister. I countered. Are you marrying him or me? You. That's right, we're getting, wait. I give you my blessing Aiden. Take good care of her. She's scared of commitment, but that's only because she's scared of being hurt. But you Aiden, you're a good man, take care of her. Astral, any words? If he breaks your love, eat him, she gave her word of wisdom. Well said. I walked over to Morrigan and gave her a forced group hug. Family hug. Come visit. I'm thinking Kieran for your first son. And village smasher if it's a female, the more superior gender, Astral added. I walked away, leaving a frozen Morrigan, staring out into nothing. Morrigan was quiet for the rest of the journey, only looking over at Aiden and then back forward. We ran into a few werewolves that held a small grudge about me making fun of Witherfang. Don't worry, we killed them. Enough, a werewolf barked for the end of room. And you are, Kalen called out. I'm the gatekeeper, the lady has been waiting. He led us into a large ballroom, with a huge tree growing out of the floor and through the roof. The architecture was grand, filled with low-relief walls, dozens of lifelike statues, and let's not forget about the dozens of werewolves growling and howling. Simply majestic. My lady, I brought the intruders. We're not intruders. We were invited. Yeah, and I live here. Who are you snacks? People, I whispered. Who are you people? She corrected herself. Who are you? Lady asked. I am the mighty and powerful Astral Strider. Who? Lady asked. The dragon. I live like 10 rooms that way. I sometimes eat your furry pets. The werewolves let out loud growls. Yeah, growl all you want. You were all fuzzy, and make me sneeze. Be more considerate to your betters. Ignore her, she's my little sister and hadn't eaten a chicken in 20 minutes. She gets cranky when she's hungry. Shut up, you're not my sib. I shoved a chicken in her mouth. I'm watching you. She pointed at the werewolves. You better stop being so chewy. I pass her to Sky. No. I'm sorry, please. Not her. She gave me her biggest eyes. Save me, brother. No. Gak, you are dead to me. Hey, watch those hands. So, lady, what up? I still don't like you. Yeah, we already know that. How do we stop the curse? Chop chop. There's a blight made up of evil monsters that want to eat us. Also, eat my shorts. I don't know what that is. She squinted at me. I know, that only makes it funnier. I squinted back. Nick, I got this. Theron pushed me away from Witherfang. I don't know what it is about her. I think it's her 80% nakedness, makes me jumpy, I think. I'm not good with hot naked women being angry at me. Witherfang started explaining how Zathrian made the curse, his family, the werewolves, and her journey of self-discovery. It just went on and on. Hurry up. Surprisingly, it wasn't me who snapped. Yes, we get it. You're so special, but the curse. How do you break the curse? But it wasn't a surprise, it was Okran. Are all your companions this energetic? Well, you were monologuing, and we do have things to do. Theron shrugged. Only Zathrian can undo the curse, but it has to be here. This is where he created the curse. This is where he has to undo it. Is there a way for us to get out of here? That doesn't take 2 hours. She points to a door at the far side of the room. It will lead you right to the entrance. I hate this place. What is that door? Magic. Did we go around in a large circle? Does the temple have some sort of magic that shortens travel time? Nat, how much you wanna bet Zathrian followed us to make sure we killed Witherfang? What you want? You not reaching for my food for a week. 2 days. 3. Deal, but if he isn't here, I want a super tent. Like the one you have. The one that has an entire house. I'm tired of sleeping on the ground. Seems like a lot for only 3 days. I want a kiss. You want a kiss? I could feel the incredulity. No, but Skywood. Zevran slid next to me. This now has my interest. What kind of kiss? Light, tongue, lustful, loving? How about none of the above? I haven't agreed to anything. Nat snapped at us. I'm also willing to give you one of these. I pulled out a golden ticket. It wasn't real gold. Gold this thin tends to fall apart. And that is. This, my sweet Nat, is a golden ticket. With this, you can name your price. Flying car, gold, magic, hot loving, anything you want. Well, anything I can make and or buy. Nothing is too far from my reach. Wait, you mean if I get a ticket, I can get these braces off? Zevran asked. Anything. A flying island? Asked Theron. What part of anything do you people not get? This is a really long hallway. Can I make you stop overly flirting with me? As difficult as that would be, yes. Only one kiss. Now it's two, one for Sky and another for Julie. She's been eyeing those luscious lips. She looked over to Julie, who was licking her lips, and gulped. It's only kissing, right? That's up to you. Kiss. More. I'm not going to stop you. If I can choose, I want more. Sky called out. Again, that is for you two to deal with. I'm just here to make the bet. I stuck out my hand at her. Come on, charisma. Deal. We shook hands. I mean, what are the chances that Zathrian is? And as we walk out of the hallway we came face to face with Zathrian, investigating the room. I can taste those lips, Julie smirked. The blushing look of anguish was amazing on Nat's face. Down, girl. I pulled her back. Ah, Warden Theron, King Kalen, I see you haven't brought me Witherfang's heart. There has been a complication, Theron started. Complication. Yes, we met with a spirit, calling itself the Lady of the Forest. She told us about how you created the curse. That only you can release the curse. Zathrian was quiet. By now you should have learned that this Lady of the Forest is Witherfang itself. Of course. She is a powerful spirit of this ancient forest that I summoned long ago and bound in the body of a wolf. Her nature is that of the forest itself, beautiful and terrible, serene and savage, maiden and beast. She is the lady and with Witherfang both, two sides of a single being. The curse came first from her. Those afflicted with it mirrored her own nature, becoming savage beast as well as human. But the werewolves have regained their minds. I find that difficult to believe. They attacked my clan. They were the same savages that they have ever been. They deserve to be wiped out and not defended. Come, I will accompany you back to the ruin. Let us go and speak to the spirit, and I will force her into with Witherfang's form so she may then be slain in the heart taken. Won't you at least consider talking to them? Why, you claim they have regained their minds, but they are still savage beasts. Their nature is unchanged. All they want is revenge or a release that I will not give them. No, let us take the heart and end it. Do you still have so much hatred after all this time? You were not there. You did not see what they did to my son, to my daughter, and so many others. You are Dalish. You know how we must struggle to be safe. How we must fight for justice. I could not let their crimes go unanswered. But those crimes were committed centuries ago. I remember them as if it were yesterday. Even if they are more than animals now, they desire nothing but revenge. They will never let my clan be. So, your answer is to let them suffer forever. Tell me, if you held your own daughter's lifeless body in your arms, would you not also have sworn an eternity of pain on those who did such to her? I might have, but who is being punished now? Very well, you wish me to go and talk, I will do so. But what if they wish only more revenge? If they attack, will you safeguard me from harm? I will, unless you attack first. I fail to see the purpose behind this, but very well, it has been many centuries. Now let us see what the spirit has to say. We walked back through the hallway, Zathrian in the lead with Duncan, Kalen, and Theron. That landwalker smells of blood. Astral whispered to me. She was still in Sky's arms but was low enough to meet eye to eye. Keep an eye out. If he tries anything, break him, but don't kill. We need him alive. And why would I do that? Have you forgotten that you kidnapped me? I shoved another chicken in her mouth. She gave me a thumbs up. The walk was quiet for the most part. I could hear Theron and Zathrian talking about something, but they were too far ahead. Reaching the ballroom, we were met with even more werewolves than before. Were we not here like 5 minutes ago? Were these guys just hiding? Why we were like 15 steps away from the lady before? What would have happened if we just attacked? Zathrian, Witherfang started the conversation. Spirit, Swift Runner got up on Zathrian's face. She is the lady of the forest and you will speak to her with respect. This right here, Warden, is why they are only beasts. Demanding respect, but giving none. Having the ability to speak doesn't give you wisdom. Enough, Swift Runner, please. Swift Runner backed away from Zathrian with a nasty glare. Zathrian, is it not time for all this to be finished? My vengeance is everlasting. The monsters that attacked my family, my clan, will suffer. But you have gained your vengeance. The people that hurt you are dead. Your family avenged. Why continue? Kalen called out. Because, we all looked at Witherfang. He and I are connected, bound. As long as the curse exists, he lives. No, that is untrue. I don't understand. He wanted us to bring him your heart. If you died, wouldn't that mean he would also die? Alyssa asked. No, he would be able to summon another spirit and do it all over again. He siphons my power, stretching his lifespan. All he would need to do is make another spirit and siphon its power. That can't be easy to do. No, in order to bind us together he needed to use his own essence. Blood magic, Wynne clarified. Yes. I doubt killing Zathrian would break the curse, I called out. Witherfang nodded. Only Zathrian can undo the curse. And I will never end it. They are beasts, only wanting to kill and destroy. See, we cannot trust them. We should kill them all. See, beasts, through and through, do what you were told to do. Or get out of my way. Enough. Using calming voice to its full power to make everyone look at me. Theron, he nodded. Zathrian, I understand why you hate the humans for what they'd done, but they have long since died. Before us only stands men and women who have done you no harm. Their only crime was being alive. They do not deserve this. And more so your clan, your family, those you preach about saving and protecting are now dying at your hand. If you do not stop this curse, the werewolves will have no need to stop. They will attack until every elf in Thedas is either dead or a werewolf. Enough is enough. Save your people. Your words cut deep. Perhaps I have lived too long. This hatred in me is like an ancient gnarled root. It has consumed my soul. What have you, spirit? You are bound to the curse just as I am. Do you not fear your end? You are my maker, Zathrian. You gave me form and consciousness when none existed. I've known pain and love, hope and fear, all the joy that this life gave, yet of all things I desire nothing more than an end. I beg you, Maker, would you put an end to me? We beg you, show mercy. You shame me, spirit. I am an old man, alive long past his time. Then will you, do it. You'll end the curse. Yes, I think it is time. Let us put an end to it all. Damn, Theron has some major negotiation skills. All Zathrian did was slam his staff on the ground, releasing a large burst of power. At first, nothing happened until Zathrian fell forward into Theron's arms and was slowly lowered to the ground. Lady began to glow, followed by the werewolves. I had to look away. Finally, with the light dying out, we were able to see dozens upon dozens of naked people. I remember the game gave them underwear, but in real life, clothes don't magically appear. There were many humans, but also elves. The curse didn't discriminate. Ah, Nick. Yeah, Nat. There were a lot more werewolves out there. Are there a bunch of naked people in the forest? Feck. // I ended up having to make hundreds of golems to search the forest to lead any people back to the elven camp, where they would lead the people out of the forest to one of the neighboring villages. I had to carry Zathrian's body back to camp. Astral followed us out and back to the camp. When we told her that she could have the temple, she told us that we killed all her snacks, and with no new snacks to come to refill the temple, she needed to find a new home, and since I was the one with the food and her older brother, it was my responsibility to take care of her. What a load, she's just a lazy brat who didn't want to work. This is what I get for being funny. It was nighttime by the time we arrived. I called Dagna and told her what happened and that she should tell Lanaya what to expect. The camp was up in a frenzy, people were taking hunting trips, and others were making a list of departure times for humans that were being led away to villages. Lanaya met us at the village center. Good to see you return. I see that Zathrian is not with you. No, things happened. I can tell you the full story if you wish. That would be much appreciated, Warden Theron. Please, for the rest of you, make yourselves at home. Mr. Walters, could you wait a while? I understand that you do not find the Dalish to be friends, but we do see you as one. Xandra wishes to apologize for all she has done, but she is hunting for all the extra mouths we need to feed. Wow, someone was trained in the art of wielding guilt. Fine, who wants to show Astral the base? I shall. As the more powerful female, it is my duty to show my weaker kin our nest. And the chomping order. Consomme-moi. Sky cut her off by lifting her and carrying her away. Morrigan, can you make sure Sky doesn't kill your new sister? I teased. Shut up, she screamed, but still followed Sky. Aiden, can you keep your wife from destroying my house? She's going to get you one of these days, he warned. Alyssa, can you make loud love to Alistair so your brother can have a stroke? That's not funny. Let's go. She shoved Aiden toward the ship. Alistair waved goodbye following her. Kaelin behind him. In the end, only Nat, Jackie, Julie, Neria, and I were left behind, and Theron left with Lanaya. So, what do you ladies want to do? Neria told me that the elves tell stories about their culture. Can we go see? Jackie was jumping with joy. Sure, I can't say no to that face. She had a beaming smile. The campfire had dozens of elves and humans, old and young, all listening to an older man. Tonight, I will tell you the story of Andrul. At the mention of the name, everyone disappeared. It was only me and the campfire. No, you got to be joking. I jumped to my feet and looked around. There was no one and nothing, just pitch blackness. Feck. He. Giggling, but from where? I've been watching you, Mr. God Whisperer. Who knew that old Coot had a sense of humor? I didn't. And you are. Come now, you know who I am. Andrul. Ding ding ding. Someone get this man a prize. Better yet, I felt pressure on my back, and two arms wrapped themselves around my chest. Maybe he would want more. I freeze. Tell me, Nick Walters, do you want more? Sorry, I'm taken. Taken? By whom? The ones with the horns. The tiny ones. The elves. What do they have that I don't? It is quite the opposite, Andrul. You have something they don't. Oh. Divinity. Ah, yes, I do have that, don't I? Did you know I didn't even want divinity? I was just a hunter. Just a young girl who wanted to be free. But some of the Evanuris saw only my beauty. They tried to take me for themselves. I killed many, so, in order to stop the deaths, they decided that I will become one of them. God. She spit out the word. So stupid. I just wanted to be left alone. They started carving their faces with a brand unfamiliar to me and started praying to me. Fools. I didn't give them the time of day, but that didn't matter. Here I am. You are very warm. I released a long breath. What do you want from me? I'm bored and lonely. And then you came. First, it was that stick in the mud. Makey. He got a follower that allows him to interact with the material realm. And then the old man's stone. He has one too. So, I want one too. No. She tightened her grip around me. You know it's impolite to reject a lady before she finishes her request. She hissed in my ear. Maybe, but you're more than a lady. He. That's true. How about this? If you help me, I can get the other elven gods off your back. So, it could only be me and you. She purred. Be honest, do I have a choice? Nope, but it always goes easier if everyone's in agreement. So, what do you say? Do you have anyone in mind? Nope, I don't really care, only as long as they fight for freedom. Can you do that for me? Nikki, I gulped. Can you answer me one more question? Why me? The maker, the stone, you. What is it about me that made you all talk to me? She finally let go, allowing me to see her face. She was beautiful, chocolate-colored skin, big green eyes, 2 dimples with glowing freckles spreading from one side of her face to the other, and hair so black it looked like it was absorbing the light around it. It even had little lights like it had stars. He, Nikki, you're the one who called us. Good luck. She grabbed my face and laid one on me. I was falling, the earth was gone and I was floating through the void, but it wasn't cold, no. It was warm, soft, loving. And suddenly I was back in the camp by the fire with the elder telling us the story of Andrul. New quest, hunt the hunters. One of the elven gods have asked you to find someone to take her blessing. Reward, 15,000 express, all rogue skills increase 1 rank, archery skill, friendly with Andrul. I calmly got up and walked toward the tent. Theron was talking to Lanaya. Nick, are you okay? Julie called out. I didn't reply. That got him up and following me. Arriving at the tent, we found Theron and Lanaya. We found them sharing a drink and talking about the mission. I was pretty sure he was putting the moves on her. Fuck you. Theron looked at me confused for a second, and a smirk slowly began to stretch across his dumb face. Lanaya was just confused. Yes, he fist pumped. Shut the hell up. You knew. Neria in a sexy leaf bikini was just a red herring. I don't know what that is, but probably. Duncan believed that if you saw Neria in a scandalous outfit it would throw you off, and make you believe that the statues were the place of worship, but in fact, we elves worship during our stories. We practice in oral tradition. Our religion is word of mouth. I dropped to my knees. Damn it, Theron was laughing over me. Lanaya looked over to the group of girls. Your friends are weird, the ladies just sighed. A.N. The elves are out of the way. Astral came out of nowhere. I was blanking on what happened during the elf quest, so I watched some videos, only to find a dragon in the damn temple.